Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, back in the chair with, of course, the Welsh and all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jack. Shout out to Joe Rico for covering me yesterday on the program. It's great to see everybody again. It's rivalry weekend, and I got to tell you, Welsh, this is the first time in a very long time I am really excited about Mets-Yankees. Mets-Yankees, I don't know if you realize this. When interleague play started, this was the hottest ticket in town. The whole world just would stop for Mets Yankees in the tri-state area both times. And I mean, like, if you were at an event on a Saturday at some bar mitzvah or you were at a kid's soccer game, whatever, everything was stopping for Mets Yankees. People were like, what's the score? What's going on? It was madness, right? And then it kind of just dissipated over the years. But now last year with the Mets kicking their butt a little bit, and now the Juan Soto stuff, now he's going to go back to New York. It's got a juice that it hasn't had, I don't know, man, in 15 years easily. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about rivalry weekend here in New York City.
It's a very East Coast thing. I got to tell
East
you.
Coast bias. You could care less. I
had not thought in one moment about, man, I wonder what's going to happen in the Subway Series. I remember a long time ago, Bogman and I were invited to do this interview with this New York radio station. And they had us, okay, blah, blah, and they had us on. And one of the first things the guy out of his mouth, he goes, he's like, how about that James Dolan stuff? And this basketball thing. And we were both befuddled. And we were like, huh? And it was a complete, I don't know what's going on. And it was a complete East Coast bias. He's like, oh, well, they're just like ruining the Knicks. And we're like, okay. You New Yorkers love you some New York and think the center of the universe is there. But I will tell you, it's going to be a great series. The extra drama with Soto is going to make it a ton more fun. But I have not lost 1 ounce of sleep of excitement for rivalry weekend.
I'll have all the excitement for you. It's the same with Yankees Red Sox. I was not a Yankee fan nor a Red Sox fan. But Yankee Red Sox was much must-watch television for years, especially in the playoffs. And then after the Red Sox finally came back and beat them in that magical year of 2004, it just never had the same juice again. It just did. It never did for me. So I'd love to see that. Baseball is better when there's rivalries, right? Like right now, when I grew up, I was the Mets and Cardinals. That was the rivalry. And then as I got older, it was the Mets and Atlanta Braves. I don't know if you feel like Diamondbacks Dodgers a rivalry because rivalries like Giants and Dodgers, typically that's like the main one in the West.
Diamondbacks have kind of taken that over a little bit over the last 10 years. So it's there. But to your point, I've probably suffered from, especially in baseball, like coming to Arizona, being here from day one, like we're not anybody's really rival.
Yeah.
Like, historically. I get why New York is the thing, but again, center of the universe. Like, you guys are revolving.
But even in the baseball universe, Soto going back to Yankee Stadium tonight, that's gonna be fun. Like let's go. I'm
there for the boo birds for Soto, but he's gonna get booed out of the stadium.
Yeah, and I can't wait for him to hit a home run. I cannot wait. It's gonna be great. Also, it's gonna be great is we're giving away a Jose Ramirez Guardians jersey for free. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros MLB. Drop your comments below on this or any video, and you might win. You still got about 15 days left to win this bad boy. So ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications, and you might win this Jose Ramirez autographed jersey. Let's start on the hill. An incredible pitcher's duel last night, Welsh. Jacob deGrom versus Hunter Brown, deep in the heart of Texas, a 1-0 game. This old school kind of pitching, just good stuff here. This was a really great Jacob deGrom start. He's now 4-1. He had 7 strikeouts in 8 innings, a 2.3 ERA, a .99 whip, 53 strikeouts, 11 walks in 51 innings. I don't think he's ever going to be the deGrom of what he was, which was on another planet. But this start to me was the reemergence of maybe some hope that Jacob deGrom can get back into that I'm one of the top 10 pitchers in baseball kind of territory.
Yeah.
This was a great start. We'll get to Brown in a second, but this was the Jacob deGrom I haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah, and I'm really starting to hold to this theory that he was holding something back at the beginning of the season. Like that is starting to hold quite a bit stronger to me, that velo was down a tiny bit. I think you had some higher changeup usage games, and he was just like paring it back. He wasn't being super hyper aggressive in the strikeout department. Then last week it kicked back up. This start, fastball velo almost up a mile per hour. Slider velo a little over half a mile per hour. And it was 94% usage between slider and fastball. So both of those pitches, and that he went slider heavy as the most used pitch, 30% CSW, 38% whip rate. It made the fastball even more efficient. And I kind of think it might have been just this internal game plan of like, how can we keep him healthy for the season? And they really laid back that first month, and he is looking dominant. And I'm only kicking myself, yesterday I had the first 5 on this. It just pushed, which is fine. We pushed the big money, but this was screaming an under game, and you could have cashed on the under first 5 clearly, the total game, all of the, and I wanted to, and I moved away from it to play the first 5 on the Astros. But Jacob deGrom looks vintage, but I think biggest test for everybody, especially someone like you, Joe, is like, are you going to buy in? Like, is he back to being a top 5 overall pitcher? Because the only one thing is looming still: injury. The injury thing is still looming. Can you look past it mid-May now with how he's looked?
No, I can't look past it because I have seen that show before too many times in my life. So no, I can't look past it. I think he's still an enormous risk to go through the entire season, but this was still encouraging nonetheless. And if you paid a big price, like if you're Joe Rico, you're loving life right now and you look like a genius. And I'm still terrified, but it was good to see. It was also good to see Hunter Brown, and Hunter Brown equally, I mean, maybe the most underrated pitcher in the last 2 years of baseball. Yeah. He's got a 1.43 ERA, a 0.83 whip, 67 strikeouts, 14 walks in 56 innings. He's holding it together. The Astros right now are a mess. Altuve's a mess. Alvarez is on the IL. Smith, not playing every day. It's tough. Taking away Bregman and Tucker in the same year is taking its toll on the Astros. But Hunter Brown, I think, to FR's point, second in Cy Young votes this year, maybe. I mean, nobody's going to touch Scooble probably at the end of the day. But if anybody could, it's Brown. He really has been absolutely spectacular after a dismal 2024 April. One of the best pitchers in baseball ever since.
He's really efficient. And hat tip to Wonky. Wonky wants a victory lap. You can have one. You were, I think, one of the highest on Hunter Brown. I kind of can't help but sit in a world of like, oh man, if we're second in Cy Young on Hunter Brown, and we're talking about him as being, let's say, a top 8 overall SP, kind of interested in selling. I'm kind of in that world where, it might be a really big sell high opportunity, but he has just been massively efficient. He wasn't like quite as, whiffy and stuff like Jacob deGrom took that over in this start. So he didn't have that. But from, an overall perspective, the 1.43 ERA is ridiculous. He's giving up low barrel, low hard hit, 32% K percentage is elite. And he's got an expected ERA of 2.74. So it's not like, a regression is 3.5 or something like that. So he really does look dominant. It's crazy. Oh no, I see it in here. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe is frozen. Do you know what that means? Bring me back. Hey, oh, it's chaos. It's chaos in here. I don't know if you can bring me back normal, Callie, but hey, yo, everybody. Let me tell you something. Jacob deGrom gotta sell high, buy on Hunter Brown. So I don't know if Joe is completely gone. Joe says he's back, but can we get some Puppet Joes in the chat and the hey yos? Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, I will move through the show while you guys figure out what's going on. I like that the chat is my co-host here. That's actually kind of fun. Let's go to the next thing in here because I wasn't planning on playing host today. Since we're done with Hunter Brown and we are done with our boy here. Hey, there's Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, yeah, massive thunderstorms here. Like thunderstorm warning. I'm surprised you can't hear it on air. Like it's crazy.
It's probably just the gods so excited about the Subway series that they can't contain it in on the East Coast.
Tears of joy.
Yeah,
tears of joy. Are we talking about Ohtani yet?
Yeah, we can. I mean, I was co-hosting with the chat. I had Puppet Joe up. We were figuring out what we were doing, but please continue.
All right. Shohei Ohtani, not 1, but 2 homers yesterday. He's got 15 now, 28 RBI, 10 stolen bases. That's 15 right now. So he's tied with Judge and Schwarber for the most. Hyeseong Kim, also good night for him. 3 for 3 with a double, 4 runs scored, 2 ribbies. What do you think of Kim so far in the limited time you've seen him at the major league level?
I'm pretty impressed, actually. I remember in camp, one of the days he came out and I was like, that dude's kind of jacked, and they were working him at all different positions. Really solid contact right now. He's hitting 429, not big barrels. He looks like he's going to be in that war. He's towing the line between is he going to be low barrel, gets the ball out there, has no loft, doesn't strike out type of guy? Like I loosely say like a Rise or Jacob Wilson. Or is it going to get into that CJ Abrams world where it's like very minimal type of barrel rates, but he gets the ball in the air and optimizes? He would do really well if he did that. His launch angle is around 8 degrees, so you need to double that into the near future. But overall, 88% contact rate, makes a bunch of contact. He's stealing some bases, hitting homers, looks like he's here to stay. He's still kind of a fringy-ish dynasty or not dynasty, but like a fantasy option right now. But he's working, and as long as he's getting in the lineup, let's go. But we'll have to see, like balancing guys like Rushing and Kim and getting them all in the lineup. How's that going to work?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I have an amazing Ohtani stat. You ready for it? He's got 42 games this season, 15 homers, 10 stolen bases, 45 runs scored, 25 walks. No one in Major League history has put up those numbers over a 42 game span at any point in a single season. Ever.
Gee, is that a Sarah Lang stat? That's crazy.
I didn't get it from Sarah. I got it from somebody else. But
it just sounds like something Sarah Langs would put together.
Like
whenever I see those stats, they're like, by the way, this is the best 37 game run where the game's in before 6:42 p.m. that we've ever seen in baseball. And you're just like,
I don't know how she does it. It's amazing. Yeah. She's amazing. Ronald Acuna, also amazing. 2 for 3 with a double in a minor league rehab game, and he looks good. He did make an error in the outfield. He was hot dogging it a little bit. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no. It's going to be that type of show, guys. It's going to be that type of show. I did not see the hot dogging by Ronald Acuna, but what I will say before Puppet Joe comes in here, you got to get me back here. I'll just stay in the corner.
Happening?
What is going on with
What's
the chaos?
What's going on? I was fine. Did I freeze again?
Yeah, you froze again. Yeah, you're a hot mess right now. You're a hot
Come
mess.
on.
But what I wanted to say before you're talking about the hot dogging is that Ronald Acuna already where he's at in that rehab assignment. Didn't you put the June 6th? Was it June 6th we had on Acuna? He's going to destroy that. He's going to just, yeah, he might be up next week. I mean, I know they're not saying that, but he legit might be up next week.
More talk about the Braves. Spencer Strider is going to come off the IL. He's going to start against the Nationals next week. Also for the Braves, I want to talk about Drake Baldwin for a second. 3 for 4 against the Nats on Thursday. He's getting some more playing time in 2 catcher leagues. What's your feeling on Baldwin? I know, he's still not the everyday quote unquote guy, but man, that guy's been hitting.
I think he was number 1 in WAR, maybe amongst rookies right now. Like he's at the very tippy top. Maybe it's NL. I don't know if it's NL or AL, but like he is a high WAR guy. He's hitting 360. He's got 4 homers. This is a cool one because I've been talking about him for quite some time because he was out in the AFL this past year and really, really interesting bat. There's a bunch of offensive high upside. He has a 62% hard hit rate with a 16% K percentage. He's hitting the ball hard. He's not striking out. He's earning himself more playing time. I think in a 2-catcher league, he's on that bottom rung only because he's not starting. If Sean Murphy were to go away and he were to play every single day, I think Drake Baldwin has a chance here. I'll put it like this. He has a chance to be like next season's Ivan Herrera. If Murphy goes away and he is the guy, think of him like Ivan Herrera as a next season, like top 10 to 12 catcher.
Excellent comp. Love that. Also love that Matt McLain's getting hot. Shh. Don't tell anyone I told you. Doubled walk. Things are going much better for him over the last week. Signs of life. You look at the last 7 days, they are there for Matt McLain. So that is very good news. You can still buy him over the weekend, but this is your last chance. I sent out a bunch of trade offers for Matt McLain this morning. I was putting the show together after looking at the last week. So good news there. Some transactions. Brandon Drury gets released by the White Sox. My guess is he'll land somewhere else. I don't think the career is done. The Rangers recalled Cole Winn. I want to talk about this for a second because Luke Jackson is currently the closer, and I'm using air quotes for that. 23 innings so far. Hasn't given up a run. He's got a .94 whip, 20 strikeouts to 11 walks. Any chance that Cole Winn maybe flirts a little bit with that closer role?
I need to see it before anything. Bruce Bochy's just doing weird stuff with
I was all time now in managerial wins. Did you see that yesterday?
No, he is
6th all time.
He's a huge human being. He has one of the biggest heads you've ever seen in your life next to a player. And he's also, because he's like super old, he's tall. Like, because I'm tall. He towers over me with his big giant bobblehead. Like, he is just a huge human being. He's crazy. But he also just does like the weird stuff. Like, why is Luke Jackson continuously the guy? I would love to see them bring someone in. I think this is a rotation for a while. I think it's just kind of disastrous until they go and acquire someone. And I 100% think they should go and acquire somebody. We've talked about Ryan Helsley. If they throw that at us at all, then I'm cool with it. But I don't know of anything where Cole Wynn's going to just be called up and just immediately jump into that role.
Send Cole Wynn for Helsley. Go send him Evan Carter. Send them whatever they want. Go get
Evan
Helsley.
Carter and Helsley. That would actually make sense. But like, do the Cardinals really need like more underperforming outfielders?
Crappy outfield prospect that's no good. Sure, that's what they do best. That's what they do best. Let's get to the last and certainly not the least transaction from yesterday. This made my heart smile. The Chicago Cubs reportedly are signing veteran right-hander Kenta Maeda. So he's not out of baseball yet.
Kenta Maeda. The only thing we need for the true trifecta is for him to be signed with the Mets. And then the Mets jersey that I was sent. I've mentioned this before. Somebody legit sent me a Mets jersey, and it is a comboed name of Senga and Maeda. But I got to tell you, the choice and how they worded it, it's not really ideal. It's not. Like
I just don't know why you get all this stuff. People send you hats. They send you jerseys. I get nothing. Nothing. I don't understand. It's ridiculous.
Why don't you put your address, your home address publicly on the show right now?
Someone wants to send me something. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of me. There are a few things over the years, but they're all football people. What's wrong with you baseball people?
Baseball people are great. No, baseball people, that's why. Baseball
great
people
to you. They've sent me nothing. Nothing. Not a damn
I stick
thing.
around. I stick
Football,
around past July.
Tons of people. Oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
You're the real hero. Everyone in Welsh is the real hero, everybody. All right, let's get to the rookie lookies. Zebby Matthews is back, baby. Sunday, he's going to start, bring that 1.93 ERA, 38 strikeouts, 9 walks, over 7 starts so far. Wasn't the best debut for Zebby last time we saw him, but hopefully a little bit better the second time
on the
around.
show yesterday, I'm like, it's clearly got to be David Festa. Like, David Festa's been incredible. 14 strikeouts, no walks. He was up last. Like, it's clearly going to be him. And then, like, 8 hours later, they're like, and it's Zebby Matthews. So,
and all of a sudden, got lit a fire under Paddock, too, because he pitched well yesterday, too. So he was like, oh, crap. You could drop guys around here?
Dude, somebody put out a stat where it was like the first, like, 2 or 3 starts, Paddock gave up, like, 9 earned runs. He's given up, like, 12 earned runs since then. It's like over, like, 5 or 6 starts.
But he's got
he is just he's gripping onto that job because, you know, he is one bad blow up start probably 100%. From losing that thing, but it's crazy.
Oh, look, the Twins might be better off dealing some of that starting pitching though and letting the kids play and just help them somewhere else. You know,
I'd love to see Festa and Zebby up tomorrow.
I would agree. I'd rather see those guys in the rotation with Joe Ryan and, you know, some of the starting pitch. You know, the Cubs could deal with this. The Cubs would love to have Chris Paddock right now. You know, there's a lot of teams that could use him. I'm just saying. Let's talk about the Nationals for a second. Dylan Cruz, not in the lineup yesterday. He's down to 136, 255, 277 in May. 13 strikeouts. On the flip side, I wanted to bring up Robert Hassel, who is having the inverse right now. At AAA, he's hitting 289 with a 340 OBP. The power hasn't been great, but he does have 3 homers, 8 steals in his last 38 games. 30 strikeouts, 19 walks, so not the worst there either. Could we see Hassel for Cruz as like a switch in the next couple weeks, maybe?
That's a
because Young hasn't.
One. You know,
but Young also hasn't hit. So they've got a problem in that outfield right now where they've got multiple holes, and I don't know what they're going to do, but it feels like something's got to give over the next 2 weeks for the Nats.
I agree with what you're saying. The thing with, like, cause I've just been talking about Hassel. Hassel has been just so not good for so long. AFL, like 3rd straight run, but he changed his approach. He's a guy where it's like, I'm making contact. I'm not trying to swing through. He had really intense bat speed that I had likened at one point to a guy like being like Bryce Harper. But I think he's finally just figured out like the skill set. He's locked into his own skill set. Now he's hitting for average and he's doing a little bit of everything. By the way, they're still not elite, but he's increased his hard hit percentage last year at AAA was 25%. It's 39%. That's a huge increase. His max EV went from 106 to 110. To jump up like 3 miles per hour on that is huge, and average 91 exit velocity. So I do think Robert Hassel is going to get a look at some point, but is it at the expense of Dylan Cruz? I think a normal team would probably already have cut bait. Like the Cardinals would have already cut bait, you know, like they did with Jordan Walker on Dylan Cruz. I think there is still so much as far as like this guy being a face of the organization. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to do that exact move. but I don't think we're long out from Cruz going down. And I would have to say, if they were replacing with an outfielder, it will be Robert Hassel. If they want to play on the infield, Brady House is another prospect who's killing it in AAA, who they would bring up. So this is a possibility. Just monitor Robert Hassel, but Hassel doesn't have big, loud counting stat skills. He's going to probably hit lower in the lineup. You're hoping he continues to hit for contact and he can steal some bases. So he's not a out the roof type of fantasy option.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Walsh, like I always thought Wood to Cruz was a bigger separation than a lot of other people did. When I watched the two of those guys play, I thought Cruz could be a really good player, but I thought Wood could be a superstar. And that was my evaluation. And a lot of people didn't share that. A lot of people felt very differently about it. But so far, it looks like Wood is that guy. One more guy to talk about, too, who was up. Another rookie we're excited about, got sent down. But things are going in the right direction for Matt Shaw. 2 for 4 with a walk and RBI, 2 steals, 3 runs yesterday in game 1 of a doubleheader. In game 2, he had a pair of homers. He's starting to get hot. And that brings us to today's Microsoft Chasing Challengers segment, brought to you, of course, by Microsoft. Just like the athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible, business decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities. Microsoft meets you are with tools and guidance to help you make an impact with safe, secure AI solutions. So whatever challenges you're facing, Microsoft empowers you with the expertise to say, bring it on. And in this segment, we're going to spotlight the challenges faced by the Cubs with Matt Shaw, because they were very excited about Matt Shaw, as all of us were. And then, of course, he did not hit for the first few weeks of the season. So we sent him back down, and now he is hitting. Now, the question is, how much longer are we going to leave him down there? Because clearly Matt Shaw has figured things out again. He's been a great contact guy, had a great season last year in the minor leagues. There's very little for him to still prove at that level. So if he's going to prove it, he's got to prove it now at the major league level. So they're going to have to give him a second shot. What does that second shot look like? And does it just stick this time? That's the big question for fantasy managers. And we're going to have to figure that out. I would be buying Matt Shaw. I'd be picking him up just to see, because I think the kid is too talented. We had so many prospect people on in March talking about how great Matt Shaw was, how he was a can't miss kind of guy. And I tend to agree. I think his skill set is one of those heavy contact, put the ball in play. He's going to walk. He's going to have some pop. He's going to be a steady guy in that lineup for the Cubs. It just didn't happen in the first shot out of the gate. This happens to a lot of rookies. So patience, everybody, I think will be rewarded with Matt Shaw. Now might be the time to pluck him off somebody else's roster and put him on yours. And that's this week's Chasing Challenger segment. Remember, Microsoft's AI solutions empower you to take bold steps and make new ideas to drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. Welshie, let's get to 3 up and 3 down, shall we? Max Muncy, 3 for 4 with a dinger. Jake Berger, our boy, our buy low from last week, 2 for 3 with a homer. Yay. It's good to see Jake Berger. He's a little bulkier than last time I saw him too. Did you notice since he come back, he looks a little bulkier?
He looks about the same burger-esque that he always does.
I think it might be
double
like
patty.
More of a Five Guys burger than a little bulkier. Just saying. Brendan Lowe, 3 for 5. Pair of 2-run homers for him. The downs yesterday, Bido was bado. 6 runs for him, 5 hits in just an inning and 2/3. Kevin Gausman was hit hard yesterday. Unfortunately, 6 runs, 10 hits for him. And Sugano, again, was bad, 4 runs. That Orioles pitching staff is a complete joke. Continues to be, and it will always be. The injuries. Landon Knack could be a candidate for the team's 5th starter job, according to manager Dave Roberts. Are you buying that, Welsh? And are you streaming him in any deeper leagues because he's a Dodger?
I mean, okay, maybe I would consider like a streaming option, but I'm not running to the hills for Landon Knack. No thanks. I think, this is very, very short term as well. Once they figure out, the only reason that they're going to guys like Landon Knack or the continued injuries of Snell and Glass now, I don't even think it's out of pocket that this team might end up going and looking in the market to see if they can have some more depth, because it's like you go to Fangraphs and Roster Resource and you look across, it's incredible. It's just, they're all hurt and they've lost that depth. But to the point, I guess it gives some opportunities for Knack, but I would look at streaming, pinning the matchup, but not a must pick up.
I don't know who had the original idea in the chat, but the Welshism blanket, I'm here for that. A blanket full of Welshisms. Like, you
like
just
a quilt?
print them all. Yeah, like a quilt. Yeah.
I think we start with like a shirt, and I think it almost something like this and be like Welshisms, and maybe like almost like an asterisk, like a Thunderbolts, and then maybe try to explain it, but the explanation doesn't really make sense. And that would be like the perfect. Perfect thing.
Yu Darvish trying to work his way back from the elbow issue. 4 innings for him in El Paso yesterday. So we'll see how that actually Wednesday. Both Buxton and Correa, they collided yesterday. Both were in concussion protocol. So we have daily lineups. Just keep an eye on that. That could be something that lingers over the days ahead. Spencer Horwitz 3 for 5 and a double in his rehab start. So hopefully he's going to come back soon. And D.L. Hall, 2 2/3 shutout innings for AAA Nashville. So the Brewers have a lot of pitching in the minor leagues and pitching coming through. They need some hitting. They need to figure things out sooner than later, which brings us to Welsh. It's time for the best bets
of the end of the week
with Joey P and the Welsh. It's Friday. It's fun. It's Texas on the run line, -1.5 at +116. I said earlier that Hunter Brown's the most underrated pitcher. Number 2, right behind him, probably Nate Eovaldi. He has been absolutely spectacular, and he gets a matchup today against a Houston Astros offense that has been struggle bus. So give me the Texas Rangers to win out here and cover this run line of -1.5. You're getting +116 on it. Eovaldi's just been so sharp all year. And without Alvarez in that lineup, it just does not go. There's too many pieces missing, and the Astros offense is not good right now. Also good right now, Chris Sale. 7.5 strikeouts. Let's go over on this. I know the juice is tight here. It's -138, but it's against Boston. They strike out a ton. They're a little struggle right now. Christian Campbell's had a rough week. You've got Trevor Story, who hasn't been hitting. So I'm going to take my shot with Chris Sale against his old club, sticking it to him a little bit. And Cole Reagans, I can't believe this number. I know it's -144, but over 6.5 strikeouts. You could take that, pair it with the money line Royals, and you could probably get that into plus money in a nice little situation, little two bet parlay there. Welsh, where are you going for your best bets for Friday?
All right, we are going to tag the rookie, Cade Horton, who he did only go 4 in his last, but it was 77 pitches. I'd assume they're going to push him into the mid-80s. He's going up against the Chicago White Sox, who like to strike out. So 4.5, -120. We are going to take that. Corbin Burns was much better in the last start. The cutter velo was back up. That's a big thing. I think that rest might have turned the table a little bit, and he's going up against the Colorado Rockies. So, Burns could have one of those weird starts, but Colorado Rockies strike out at an incredible clip. Burns looked good in the last one. -120 over 6.5 strikeouts for him. And we are going to go swimming with some Nerfies. Atlanta, Boston, no run first inning because it is Garrett Crochet and Chris Sale. It is the matchup. It is juiced to -145. But if we can't have this, what Nerfie can we possibly have, friends? So -145, Atlanta, Boston, no runs through the first inning with a couple K props. Those are my bets.
And don't forget to place your bets on FanDuel over at fantasypros.com/leading off. New customers place their first bet of $5. If it wins, you get $250 in bonus bets. Again, that's fantasypros.com/leading off. And don't forget, Betting Pros free trial is still going out there. Download the BP app, get 7-day free trial when you use that promo code leading off to unlock exclusive betting tools like the prop bet cheat sheet for MLB, the Betting Pro systems, the same game parlay builder, Sharp AI, and so much more. Let's take a look at the home run board right now as well. See what that is. We look upon. Oh, there it is. There it is. Wonky Penguin up to 17. Did she have Ohtani yesterday? I wonder.
She must have. She was at 16, so no, because Ohtani had 2. So
she was at 15
Kelly,
last time I was here, so I don't know. She's on fire.
Kelly had a winner. Can you believe that the top 3? Well, you know what? One of those must have had Ohtani because I don't think we had 319.
I don't think so.
3
either,
people.
But I wasn't here yesterday. Marty's at 19, George is at 19, Far Out's at 19, and Wonky Penguin at 17. Keeping it real, holding it down here for us FP folks. Welsh is still respectable at 15. I'm not at double digits yet. I think after this weekend I will be. Again, the Sammy Sosa jersey, that is up for grabs right now from pristineauction.com for the winner. And if you want to join, go to fantasypros.com/chat, our Discord. That's where you can make home run calls. Welsh, I know he's been cold a little bit lately, but I'm going to go with Pete Alonso for today's home run. That's right. Pete Alonso for the weekend in itty bitty little teeny tiny Yankee Stadium, picking up his guy Juan Soto. I think Pete shows up in these kind of big spots. So I'm going to go with the Polar Bear. Where are you going for your home run call today, or is it for the whole weekend?
Well, right now, unless I do otherwise, it is in perpetuity. We're going to go with Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll near the lead in homers. I don't know who they're running out today. It doesn't really matter. Crushes baseballs. They're at home. If they're home or away, it would both play. Ketel Marte would be an interesting play here too, because he's a little less susceptible to righties, lefties, since he's a switch hitter. But we're going to go with Mr. Corbin Carroll for my home run call through the weekend.
Now, wasn't a lot of baseball yesterday, so let's get to some questions today because it's kind of a light show. Who
Sure.
dat? Drop Schneeman for Royce Lewis in a category league. I say yes. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, Schneeman's been going into some like decent spots in the lineup, but I'm still like a no thanks. I'd rather play the upside of Royce.
Choose your Josh. Josh Lowe or Josh Young. 12-team Cats.
I'm gonna go with Lowe because of the stolen bases and like Josh Young's favorite thing is to get hurt. But Josh Young's played really well.
His favorite things to get hurt.
His favorite, it's like his favorite pastime.
Josh Lowe or Jonathan India.
Lowe.
Okay, there you go.
Any more Josh questions? Josh Lowe questions?
I'm looking to see if we get keeping Max Muncy. Are we keeping Muncy?
I mean, probably. I don't know. What else is out there?
It depends on what's out
there. Is it Schneeman or Max Muncy? I'll probably still take Muncy.
Let's go to this question here from Cece. What do you do with Westberg? Hold or move on? You know, I was a fade of Westberg going into the year, but again, obviously the injuries put a wrench.
I was not. Yeah, he had like a little bit of a setback. I'm holding, but I don't know. Like I've had a lot of people hit me up about like, oh, this is what my IL looks like. And I feel like every time someone is asking, they're like, should I cut this guy? Because look at my IL. And there'll be like one guy that you clearly, they'll be like, well, I got, you know, Kershaw and Snell and Glass now and Spencer Arrighetti. I can't cut anyone. It's like, you can cut Arrighetti. You can clearly cut him. So I just don't think Westberg should be the first guy I'm trying to cut off of IL. If you're in some like NFBC type of league where you have, you know, no IL spots or something, I guess I get why you would cut him. But I want to wait on Westberg.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think you just hold right now because you have a lot of draft capital in him if you did take him.
Like take right there, Boozwell. Westberg, Seager, Manaea, and Jerry Jones are on the IL, only 3 spots. Cut Manaea or cut Jared Jones. We don't know what the hell's going on with Jared Jones.
I cut Manaea.
Yeah.
I'd have more faith.
Well, Jared Jones is a better pitcher than Manaea, but I know you're the Mets guy.
How I mean, in what term?
Oh,
defend your statement, sir.
Well, we'll first start with the algorithm of pitch modeling that Jared Jones had. I believe he was the only pitcher with a 130 stuff plus on his fastball and his slider. So he's a primary 2-pitch pitcher, and both of those are at advanced plus pitch modeling grades. And obviously he fell apart a little bit at the end. I think Manaea has more floor, but from a fantasy perspective, Jared Jones is a much higher upside. And I would say on the pitch modeling side, those 2 pitches are like absolutely elite pitches.
Tough. I understand, you know, in terms of quote unquote stuff, Jones is better, but it's not because I'm a Mets fan. It's in spite of that. Manaea last year,
he turned it around,
gave you wire to wire, and Jared Jones has never given you a full season of great.
Well, only given you one season, so
yeah, he gave you 10 good starts last year, basically. I mean, it's basically give or take what he gave you. So I have a hard time with that when we anoint these guys who have, you know, little sporadic moments of showing it to you. Whereas when a guy shows it over a full season, I think you got to go there, especially when the offense is much better. The bullpen is better. Like all of the situation is so much better for Manaea too. I think from a fantasy asset point, I'd rather have Manaea, but I agree in a vacuum, Jones is the more exciting pitcher, but I want stats. I want productivity.
I will say this, it works in your favor as well for this is like, the Mets are a better team. The context is better. Yeah. What they've done from the major league developmental standpoint of their pitching and having this ragtag group be able to continue to have like low ERAs, like there's a lot working in Manaea's favor. It's just Jared Jones also has this like top 20 SP upside. But again, you can't live in a upside world all the time. Both of these guys are hurt. They both have not pitched this year. I don't know what the hell's going on with either one of them, but more so, that's why I would be more willing to cut one of those guys before I would cut Westberg.
Okay. Here's one. McLain or Luis Robert from Chief Nakahoma?
I'll go with Robert.
I will also go with Robert, but I'm buying McLain right now. Let's go to Nick's question here. Boz, Tyon, or Hodge? Drop one. Who are you going to drop? Tyon for me.
Yeah, I would drop Tyon.
That kind of makes a lot of sense. Here's one from Laser Sharp. Someone dropped Brian Reynolds. Do I drop Roberts for, or Luis Robert, I believe is what he means for Brian Reynolds?
That's tough. Probably not. I'm still kind of banking on Robert getting traded. Reynolds is underperforming. Like we know he's going to be cool and solid when he gets back, but it's not going to be like, you know, otherworldly that where that could happen with Luis Robert. So I'll stick with Robert.
Angel theory, Henderson or Bybee rest of season. Now this is tricky because Logan Henderson isn't guaranteed to stay in this rotation. Now Bybee is not a guy that I want, but because his stats are all going in the wrong direction. K/9 going in the wrong direction, the expected ERA, all that stuff. So this is tough. I mean, Bybee has a rotation spot, Welsh. This is where do you stand on this one?
I'd go with Bybee on this one. I get it. He did just rattle off
to.
7 innings against the Phillies. His strikeouts are pretty bad. He doesn't have a game over 5 strikeouts this whole year. And over what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 8 starts, he already has 3 games of 3 or less strikeouts. I mean, that is moving in the wrong direction for sure, but there's still a great team context. He does have a 3.8 ERA. Logan Henderson's not guaranteed anything, so it's Bybee.
Henderson's pitched better in the 2 starts he's had, though. He's given you more than Bybee has in any of one of his starts.
No doubt. No doubt.
And they should leave him in there. Squeeze McQueen, Hyeseong Kim, or Bryson Stott. Now, we haven't seen a lot of Kim yet. Like, it was again, small sample size. So I'm going to lean towards Stott, but Kim is more exciting to me potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Bryson Stott's kind of boring for some people, but I'll go with Bryson here. You know, he's stealing bases at his normal clip, hitting a few homers, hitting 4-ish average, 258, 248 expected. I think Kim it's going to be tough for him to like maintain a full-time role the entire season, or if not, he might be hitting lower in the lineup. Like Andy Pajes has to start moving up. He's going to always hit at the bottom of the lineup. I guess Stott relatively does too. I'll go with Stott though, with the kind of elite stolen bases.
Last one here. Keep Christian Walker, and there's a lot of Walker stuff. Walker or Kurtz? Who'd you rather have rest of season, Walker or Kurtz?
Oh man, there's only so much longer I guess we can keep saying Walker. I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it because we don't have much longer for it. He does need to turn it around. This whole because here'd be one thing I would say. You know, I've been for like a month. I've been like Christian Walker. If you're god awful for 2 months and then you finally turn it around, I'll never be able to come on here and be like, hey guys, I told you so. You know, it's like, no, you just ate 2 months of Christian Walker. That's brutal to your fantasy team. So, you know, if there are viable options, I get why you can move off of that guy, especially with first base when there have been incredible options. Hopefully you haven't passed all of them up, but we're getting towards that line of like, it's only so much longer that we can even wait on Christian Walker, that it's just dump him and wait for him to get ready. But I do think when we look back on the season, we're going to have a close to normal-ish Christian Walker year. But he, like I said, has to turn it around quickly. That's going to be impossible.
We're getting really close to it not looking like that. We're like 2 weeks away. If it's not by Memorial Day, you start making some hard decisions there. And if he turns it around, great. But you can't sit on it too much longer. I think you have till Memorial Day, and then you gotta that's 2/3 of a season, or excuse me, 1/3 of a season. More actually, we're almost past that. So you gotta make those hard decisions here, especially in those season-long roto leagues. You need more productivity out of first base.
Can you believe how far we are into the season already? It's like we're almost closing on June.
Yeah, it's
Joe's
crazy,
almost gone.
Man.
Joe's gonna be gone in like 3 weeks.
I'm not going anywhere. But I was gone yesterday. Again, shout out to Joe Rico. I appreciate him filling in for me on the live stream on Wednesday afternoon and yesterday on the show. And I want to encourage all of you out there, if you're in your 40s, go do the right thing. Okay, go get your checkup. Go. I know it's not going to be fun.
What kind of checkup?
Well, exactly. This is the old colonoscopy. There you go. That nobody looks forward to. Nobody wants to do this. You have to drink the stuff that makes all the other stuff go out of you, so they can stick other stuff inside of you to look inside. But all jokes aside, my friend and neighbor, great guy, passed away a couple years ago, 44 years old, from colon cancer. And he ignored a lot of signs, and he didn't, unfortunately, catch things in time. And he passed away a couple years ago. Left 2 daughters behind. Terrible situation. Don't wait. Luckily, everything for me was good. A-okay. Very grateful for that. But a lot of us sit there, and I'm that first one to say, don't do these things. Oh, I don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable. It's no fun. I was like, do it. If you're in your 40s and you're supposed to do it because your family needs you. Everybody needs you. So public service announcement from the guy who always doesn't want to do that stuff. Me telling you, go do it. And if I help somebody, that makes me happy. And that's all I wanted to say. And shout out to our team here holding it down for everybody. But look, sometimes you got to do these things that you don't want to do. It's 12 hours of inconvenience, and it might save your life. So go do it. Welsh, anything you want to add there? You're getting close, buddy.
I'm
You got
getting,
like a year or two,
really,
you're in that
I'm like,
range.
this is really great advice for everybody but me. I'm like, this is really good advice. I have a couple years on it, but didn't they move the bar a little bit? It used to be 40 and now it's like 45.
It is 45, and I didn't do it last year because why? You know, my dad passed away. Things were crazy. It was a whole, you know, it was a crazy year for me. Do it.
I got a couple years,
smart.
but I'll do it.
There you go.
Keep me honest. Check back in 3 years.
There you go. You have something to look forward to now, just
I'm
like
so
I have
excited.
that Subway series to look forward to. But look, they knock you out. The first time in my whole life I've ever been under. It was glorious. It was glorious. Great sleep, great nap. There you go. Do it.
Have you ever real quick on anesthesia? I've only had it like twice. Are you one of those people where you're super weird, or you super nice, or you know how like when you kind of come out of
when
anesthesia?
I come out, I am the same I am whenever I smoked weed or smoke weed or any sort of THC drink or whatever.
And what is that?
Silly and fun. I am the life of the party. I was walking out like just doing.
Oh, you're doing the dancing and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
the best. Some people are quiet and moody. Not me.
I worry. So I worry that when I come out of it, that I'm gonna like say something. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna like go beyond. But I am actually every time. I'm like this super caring. I'm like, are you okay? Was this okay? Like I'm very gentle. I'm super gentle when it comes out, making sure everyone else is okay.
That's
so I actually like the version of me that's out of there. But also, no thanks.
There you go. The not eating is the hardest part for me. I'm Italian. I like to eat. So the not eating for the day or whatever, that 24-hour period, rough for me.
See, the probe up me is more of my problem.
Yeah, that was nothing. That was nothing. I couldn't even know it was nothing.
I'm glad that was nothing for you.
It was nothing. Feel good. I worked out today. There you go. So enjoy baseball rivalry weekend. Again, we joke around. I know it's not the greatest topic, but again, do the important things. You can save a life and make a huge difference. So go do it. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. All the boo birds in the Bronx are coming. Boo, Juan Soto, you didn't want to be with us anymore. My feelings are hurt.
Juan Soto.
Drink their tears. I want to drink their tears.
Let's have them drink that colonoscopy drink.
Oh, God, that last one was not good. The rest of it was fine. That last one, ooh, not good.
Ugh. Ugh.